Hello guys, this is Flinkadink. I'm Nick Wagner. It's flickering. Whoa. So pretty much it's a game I've been wanting to play for a long time. It's called Rust. Pretty much you spawn with a rock and a torch. You get wood, you get stone, you build stuff, you get stuff, and you die to people who have been playing non-stop for like 2 weeks. So I'm going to get on and you're just going to see my first reactions, and I might record more videos on it, but this is literally my first reactions. Actually, you won't see my very first reactions on Rust, because the footage never recorded. I do have the audio and webcam of that, though. Might as well play that real quick. Oh, what the fuck? I'm in! Alright. Press anything to wake up. I have woken up. What, am I crouched? Ah! Oh, it's chicken. What the hell? The chickens can attack? That's such a noob. I can't even hit it. How do I crouch? Where's the rocks that I can get rocks from? Or can I not do that with a rock? This is the rock I know I can hit. Like, I can hit it with a pickaxe or something. Oh, you can get rocks with rocks. Okay. That's metal ore. I don't want metal ore. What do I do with metal ore? I don't have anything to do with it. Okay, let's look at the map. That's not the map. This is the map. That's not the map. This is the map. What's the map? G? So now, yeah, when I first started, I had no idea which buttons I could press, which buttons to press and which ones not. So here's a few screenshots of me randomly accidentally pressing screenshot, pretty much, of my first ever wipe. Like, my first day playing, I took a few screenshots by accident. There you go. This is the first time I ever died. I survived for 30 minutes and then got killed by a stone spear. This is a picture of the first person I've ever killed. I bashed this guy's head in with a rock and took his skull, because I remember it said the skull of gay faggot, and I thought that was funny. And this is one time during that wipe where I spawned on the beach and got killed 20 seconds later by a guy on his roof with a bolt-action rifle. So now, mind you, I knew going into this game, this is what I had in mind. I was going to be a solo person, and I was going to get absolutely nowhere because everybody in this game is really toxic and they all team up. Giant teams will kill freshly spawned and newer players for no reason. That's the mindset I had going into this. I'll talk more about this later, but let's get into my actual wipe. I made a store on my very first wipe, which I'm very proud of. And the only legitimate thing I was selling was a human skull for 5 scrap. That's the only thing anyone ever bought. The other ones were just jokes anyway. And I advertised that in chat, and people actually seemed to like it. So the toxic community, yes, is there. I slowly started changing my mind, because some people were toxic, some people were not. It was just like any other thing online. It wasn't necessarily always toxic. So here's a story I want to say. A guy got trapped inside my base of the shop. So he completely changed the shop settings. He took all the stuff out of the shop, but he was trapped inside. So he actually just killed himself to get out, and he never returned. So I smashed up his body with a rock, got a human skull out of it, and then I put that on shop. Another story from my first ever wipe I want to mention is this one right here. So me and 3 other people, well, we're just talking in chat, and we got randomly bagged in by some really high level people, but it was in the middle of like the winter area of the map. So we all started slowly freezing to death. So we held it up for warmth, which doesn't actually do anything, by the way. We're just messing around. We held it up for warmth, and we all slowly died one by one. It was a beautiful moment, and again, it slowly started changing my perspective of this game was toxic. That's all I heard from this game was when I saw the YouTubers play it, and when I saw the reviews, it was all just everyone talking about how toxic the game is. Now, like I said earlier, I was just messing around most of the time. So I actually had a mailbox outside my house that said leave a note. And I'm going to read off all the notes I ever got. Good morning. That. Howdy. Yo, your base is sick, man. You eat penis. Thanks for the water, which I had water outside my base for people just to drink it. I drink all of your water. Also, the large bases below you are assholes, so watch out. Which I knew the people that they were talking about, and they were actually nice to me. They actually gave me a gun once, like when I first started. Thanks for the water. Hi, my name is Ace PvP. I like titties. Follow me on Twitch, and then he did his Twitch. Just got affiliate. Good job for you. Bland milk. The guys below you are cunts, which, again, they're pretty nice to me. The guy turns himself into a pickle. Funniest shit I've ever seen. Hey, broski. Hola, español tenges lido dia hoy. I'm not even gonna attempt, that's just what it is. Hola, pincha puta, quieres ser mi amiga? Sure. I hope you have a real nice day, my guy. Hello! Hello, hope you don't die. Suck my black dick. I hate you. You gay. I love you. Chicken strips. Time to time I shit myself and I feel ashamed. So now you know what you can probably kind of see what I'm talking about when it's not all toxic. Some is, some's funny, and some are just genuinely nice. And here's a note that I actually put on somebody. He was building around my house. I ran up on him with a gun because, you know, I just didn't even think. I just walked up to him because I like talking to people. I ran up and had my gun out. He crafts a spear. So he pulls a spear out. So obviously I shoot him. He falls to the ground. He logs out. And I left a note to him because he was just starting out. So I was, you know, I'll just help him out. Like, people helped me out before when I first started. so I'll help him out. And I live close by. I want to make friends with my neighbors. Sorry for starting with this video with a slideshow and the boring part. Now I'm actually getting to gameplay footage. This is my first ever raid. Now the rest of the footage is mostly just, actually no wait, it is literally all just me raiding people. So I got satchel charges, gunpowder, satchel charges, guns. This is like late wipe, like last 2 or 3 days, and I started raiding people. And here's my first ever raid. So now, when it came to raiding, I had to raid bases with wooden doors. It's the only thing I could raid because I only had satchel charges. So I blew in there. So that's it. My first successful raid. There was like, was it 3 or 4 bags on the ground? Now it was worth it because I had a giant stone base, which I'll show you in a little bit actually. I had a giant stone base, so it was actually worth it. The 4 satchels were worth all the stone because that was enough upkeep to keep my house from decomposing for the rest of the wipe. So that was actually worth it for me. I crafted a lock and put it on the TC so that if they spawn back, they actually couldn't even keep their own base. Like it was pretty much my base at this point. They couldn't build in there, and they couldn't keep the upkeep, so it was going to despawn within a day or 2. Now I want to know if that's if there's anyone who's watching this that actually knows about Rust. Is that a good strategy? I feel like I don't know if do people do that. Is that if they use a dick move or I don't know what that. Just tell me your opinions on that. I do it to any TC I come across, so I'll just put a lock on it. Now here's my base. Here's I guess a quick tour. So to get down into it, you had to jump in. Like this is a one-way trip. You have to jump in. Down there, open the door, and like if you got stuck down there, you couldn't get out. You could not jump out. This is my main loot room that I had. And that's where I put all my stuff. So yeah. So the entrance was actually a one-way only door. So now to get out, you had to squeeze through the stairway, and then go up here where I had my research table and like my workbench and all that. And you had to go out this way. Which again is very tough. I just wanted to make a very tough place. It's a pretty big base, so it's raidable. But I wanted to make a very tough. This might leave a note box I was talking about earlier. I wanted to make a very tough base to raid, because that'd be very annoying to raid that. Oh yeah. So earlier, remember the person that I killed and they fell down to the ground? But actually, off camera, I refound him and we actually joined up and we became friends. His name's Cropped. But yeah, I did another raid later on. So I decided I could use a chainsaw to get on the door. Little did I know, chainsaws apparently didn't work when it comes to cutting down doors. I did not know that. I found out right here on footage, as you guys saw. So instead I decided to finish it off with a sword. Sword broke, so I actually had to head home to get another sword. And I could finally finish it off, and yeah. Anyway, so I finally finished the door off, and what was inside was pretty much just the same as last time, like 1 chest in the tool cupboard. Made a key lock, put it on there, and really only got away with some sulfur. Not really worth it, especially since I lost like my shotgun and all that stuff, getting jumped on the way home. There's another raid I did off camera. I just took the stuff that was in it. It wasn't really worth it, and I just gave it to my friend Cropped. I just gave it to him. And on the way home, I came across people shooting down a helicopter. Now, I have no idea what a helicopter does. Like, I still don't know in the ins and outs of the higher up parts of the game. Like, I know what a wooden spear is. I know what a stone spear is. I know how to use a bow. But I have no idea what helicopters are used for, how to use them, or whatever. As you can tell by me trying to collect metal from it by using a rock. And then I came across a boar. Which I ran away from even though I had a sword and a shotgun. Anyway, he was offline, but me and Cropped talked about raiding together. And while he was off, I decided to search for houses. I found this really interesting one that had a wooden door, but metal walls. So I thought this is probably just a noob's house that I could break into there easily and get probably a bunch of metal. And close by, I found another house that was all wood, but had a metal door, so I couldn't use it. And close by that, I found another place with 2 wooden doors that was completely made out of wood. So I decided this is where we're going to raid. We're going to raid these 3 places. So later that night, I built a small little depot base where we could drop all our gear off. And I decided to call it Raid Island, because we were going to raid this island clean of any wooden door bases. And it's at this point that I realized I couldn't even get out.
So, yeah. And furthermore, I realized that that's not even an island. Anyway, so I left Cropped a note telling him I had the perfect place to raid, and when we met up tomorrow, we were going to take them for everything they got. That's the last time I ever saw Cropped. He never got on again. My first mission was to get 3 sets of gear over to the other island. The first one went pretty well, and on my second journey to depot all my stuff, this happened. Yep. So anyway, when it got to daytime, I got the rest of my raiding gear and sent it over to the island. So I was checking out the metal door wooden base again, and I realized the base down here actually upgraded their base to stone, but they still had wooden doors. This is the first time I ever used a flamethrower, and I think it went pretty well. And I was disappointed to see there was just a giant metal door behind it. So I gave up and went out to scout again. So this one had a wooden door. It was mostly wood, but it did have some stone, so that was promising. And I found this really weird one with a metal door and also a wooden door. But I figured there wasn't gonna be anything behind it, but I decided it was worth a shot raiding anyways. So those are the 2 I had my eyes on. The first one I took out was the one that was hidden by a bush. To my surprise, there was actually no airlock. It was just one door. And again, just like all the other bases I raided, one box and a non-locked tool cupboard. At this point, it was the last day of the wipe, and I wouldn't even really know if anything was worth it or not, because like I'm not going to use these resources. At this point, I just knew I was just roaming around raiding as much as possible, just because, you know, last day. I saw this guy, thought about killing him, but I didn't. I came across him again while walking around, and I decided not to kill him again. So now I'm at that weird base with the one metal door and one wooden door. Yeah. But I do know there was a, I could jump up and see that there was a wooden roof. It had like, some parts of the roof were wooden. So the guy that I decided not to kill twice before was actually in his house. And you can't hear my side of the conversation of this. But, so I'll re-record my part of the audio. Because it only recorded his audio. Hey, you want to help me?
You gotta guess the song I'm playing.
There's a base I'm trying to raid.
You gotta guess the song I'm playing first.
Okay.
You gotta guess the song. If you don't guess the song... Alright, here, check.
Okay.
What's the song?
I got no idea. Then he came out, and I realized there was 2 of them. And I got some very fishy feelings that he was about to kill me because I didn't know the name of the song. So I just got out of there. And then I realized, it has a wooden roof I can flamethrower through, so why not just flamethrower through the entire wooden base I found earlier with the metal door? So that's what I did. And if you're curious on what those noises are, that's hit markers. There was somebody in the base that I was killing. They were probably offline, but I realized I had to make this quick because there was people inside the base, and they could wake up at any moment. So I wasted a ton of fuel destroying the foundation when I realized I could have just easily gotten through the side. And when I got in, I found 2 charred bodies, one of which had a grenade launcher in it, and then a guy who was still alive, but still offline. Again, hard to judge if it's worth it or not. But this is the first time I've even seen a grenade launcher. I didn't know they were even in the game. And I decided to go back to my arch nemesis. The dang base that was upgraded to stone while I was gone, and then had a metal door behind the wooden door. I went back there and decided to blow my way through the wall. And then I realized something, for fuck's sake. I don't know what, like, why they would even put that in. I don't even know who uses a grenade launcher. I don't know. Out of anger, I shot the rest of the bullets into the wall. While walking around scouting again, I heard footsteps. It was the neighbor with the guitar again. or at least one of the ones that lived there. I did the universal sign for peace, and didn't want to really fight anybody, so I tried to leave. But then they were both there, and I can tell when someone's trying to flank me. And that's exactly what he was trying to do. Now this is the very first encounter I had where I actually had gear to fight back with. I was outnumbered, but I definitely had better gear. And this was a very intense moment for me. Missing every single shot, I decided to flee. Again, missed every single shot. Missed a shot again. Reloaded, but at this point I realized something. Not that I sucked, I already knew that. But I was running away and I realized I was losing the high ground. So I made a choice, right there. Push forward. Headshot, instantly killed him. 2 third-party sniper shots from behind me. 1 more lucky headshot to drop the other guy. I didn't want their gear at all. I didn't have any interest in taking anything they had. And the 2 sniper shots behind me scared me, so I just got out of there. Not too much longer, I went back to those guys' base. I told them that I didn't take their stuff, it was still up on the hill, if they wanted to risk getting sniped. But then I saw somebody, so I backed off a little bit to see what they were doing. And it was them. Both of them. Back. To get a better view and just a situation in general, I went back to that guy's base, and I just simply couldn't raid. I shot first. You can tell I play Call of Duty because I reloaded instantly. Then I realized there was 3 of them. I couldn't even see where he was from because I was too nervous. Missed every single shot. Getting arrowed from the bushes. Limited medication left. Crossbow, bow and arrow, and then the 3rd guy. I didn't know what gun he had. Missed a shot. Not sure what gun that is, but he had a gun, which I was worried about. In that exchange, he definitely took more damage than I did, and they were pushing. Had me completely surrounded, peppering me with arrows, and they were pushing. After that arrow, I decided I need to get down. My best bet was to get down. I had the shotgun grenade still with 3 bullets left. Revolver, I think. The guitar. At this point, I just started wasting stuff because, you know, for the hell of it. I mean, I knew I was gonna die here. The knock on the door made me realize they probably think this is my house. So I decided to tear shit up. Now at this moment, I thought I could just take all my gear, throw it on the ground, and burn it so they couldn't get it. Then I realized no. I wasn't about to become one of those toxic players that everyone complains about. I know I was outnumbered, and pretty much at this point I was outgunned. But I wasn't about to be salty and despawn all my stuff, and I definitely wasn't about to give up. Anyway, I ran back with a really weak shotgun and a revolver. That was a very big mistake, shooting at him from that far, especially when I realized I only had 5 bullets left. So now I had no ammo, and I lost my biggest strength, the element of surprise. Naked guy disappeared, so I decided to rush in. And got nothing for it. And that's it. They killed me. That's all that's to it. That is the brief summary of my very first wipe playing Rust. This is just a bunch of scrap footage I put together. Hopefully it was entertaining for you. Here's my most recent screenshot. It's me and my neighbor playing in a snow machine, which apparently snow machines are a thing. When it comes to toxic players, yes, there are toxic players. There's toxic people on the internet. That crap guy I met. All the people that left me those nice notes. And even in this screenshot right here, my neighbor. He was an extremely nice guy. There are nice people playing this game. Even though I barely recorded anything from my entire wipe. There was moments I caught on footage of me debating if I should be a bad person or not. Shooting that naked that was just trying to collect wood. And that last thought that went through my head to despawn all my loot so they would get absolutely nothing. Decided not to. Because people can be good in this game. And for how much I talk about the toxicity of players in this game, I was not about to become one. Thank you guys for watching. Tell me if you want to see more. Goodbye.